In this video, we're going to learn how to graph rational functions in the form y equals a over x minus h plus k. We're going to go through 4 examples together, and I'm going to show you how this works. So the first thing we want to do is look at what's called the parent function, which is y equals 1 over x. And when you graph this graph, it looks like what's called a hyperbola, which has 2 branches to it, and I'll show you how this works. Let's pick some values to put in for x. Say, for example, -2, -1, -1/2, 0, 1/2, 1, and +2. So if I put in -2, 1 divided by -2 is -1/2. If I put in -1, 1 divided by -1 is -1. If I put in -1/2, when you divide by a fraction, it's like multiplying by the reciprocal. That'll give us -2. Can't put in 0, that's undefined. You can't divide by 0. 1/2 would give us +2, 1 would give us 1, and 2 would give us 1/2. So plotting these points, let's see, -2, -1/2 is right about here. -1, -1 is right about here. -1/2, -2 is right about here. 0 is undefined. So what happens is we have what's called a vertical asymptote. That's the line x equals 0 here. X equals lines are vertical lines. And then this is one branch of our hyperbola. It gets closer and closer to the x-axis. Okay, this is the line y equals 0. It's our horizontal asymptote. And then it also gets closer to this vertical asymptote, which is the line x equals 0. Now, continuing on, 1/2, 2, 1, 1, and 2, 1/2, we get this other branch of our hyperbola. And again, it gets closer and closer to both of those asymptotes. So if we look at this graph, we can see that the domain, meaning what the x values can be, would be all real numbers, except for when x is 0. So I'm going to say all reals, but x cannot be 0. If you know the interval notation, this would be from -infinity to 0, not including 0, union 0 to +infinity. So we use the parenthesis when it doesn't include that value. Now the range, the y values, it's going to be all real numbers except for right here on the x-axis, which is where y equals 0. So I'm going to say all real numbers, but y cannot be 0. And interval notation, this would be from -infinity to 0, not including 0, union from 0 to +infinity. Okay, so this is our parent function. This is our basic graph. This is sometimes referred to as the reciprocal function, like 1 over x. It's like, you're just flipping it over, taking the reciprocal. But what happens with this a value here if it's negative? Well, what the negative is going to do is it's going to take this graph and it's going to reflect it over the x-axis. So this branch is going to be here, this branch is going to be here. The 3 is going to be like a vertical stretch, okay, by a factor of 3. But it's not really shifting left or right, up or down. We're going to talk about that in the next 2 examples. But let's, again, get a good sketch of this graph by picking some numbers that easily go into the numerator there. So I'm going to pick maybe, how about -3? Oh, actually, here, let's even do -6, -3, -1. Of course, 0 we know is undefined. 1, 3, and 6. 1, 3, and 6. Okay, so that comes out to 1/2. This comes out to 1. This comes out to 3. This comes out to -3, -1, and -1/2. Okay, so plotting these points now, left 6 up 1/2 would be right about here. -3, 1 would be right about here. -1, +3 is right about here. So see what's happening. The graph is, again, approaching the y-axis and the x-axis. It doesn't touch, doesn't cross. And over here, 1, -3, 3, -1, and 6, -1/2. There's our other branch. Again, getting closer and closer to the y-axis, which is the line x equals 0. Remember, vertical lines are x equals lines. And the x-axis, which that's a horizontal line, that's a y equals line, that's y equals 0. Again, our domain and range will be the same domain and range for the parent function because it really hasn't shifted left or right, up or down. So let me erase the whiteboard. Let's look at some problems that involve a horizontal shift as well as a vertical shift. Okay, for number 3, let's look at a couple different ways to graph this function. We've got y equals 4 over x minus 1 plus 2. Now, when it's in this form, y equals a over x minus h plus k, the number that's grouped with the x is going to shift the graph in the x-axis direction, but it has the opposite effect. So this -1 is actually going to shift right 1, positive 1. So that means we're going to have a vertical asymptote right here at x equals 1. The plus 2 has the same effect on the graph. If it's positive, it's going to shift it up. If it's negative, it's going to shift it down. So the plus 2 is going to shift the graph up 2, which means we're going to have a horizontal asymptote right here at y equals 2. Now, what we can do is we can focus in on the parent function, which is just this part right here, y equals 4 divided by x. Let's make a table just using those numbers. So I'm going to pick some easy numbers that go into 4, like -4, -2, -1, 1, 2, and 4. And that's going to give us -1, -2, -4, 4, 2, and 1. Now, you can do this a couple different ways. One way is you could plot these points from what's called like the shifted origin. So basically, since everything's shifting right 1 and up 2, I could pretend like this is my starting point, go left 4 and down 1, and left 2 and down 2, graph all these points, but from here. That's one option. Now, some teachers don't like that, some students don't like that. What you can also do is you can say, well, the -1 shifts everything right 1. So that means I'm going to add 1 to all my x values since x controls left and right. So that would be -3, -1, 0. Let's see, I'm adding 1, so this would be 2, 3, and 5. Cross out the old x values. The plus 2 shifts the graph up 2, which means we're going to add 2 to the y values. So this would be 1, 0, -2, 6, 4, and 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and plot these new points here. So from the origin, left 3 up 1, 1, 2, 3 up 1 is right about here. -1, 0, which is right about here. 0, -2 is right about here. So you can see this branch of the hyperbola looks something like this, getting closer to the asymptotes. 2, 6 would put us at, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6 right about here. 3, 4 would put us right about here. And 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 would put us right about here. So there's the other branch of our hyperbola. And you've got your graph. Now, as far as the domain and range, the domain is going to be all real numbers, except for where the vertical asymptote is here at 1. So it's all real numbers, but x cannot be 1. The reason it can't be 1 is because 1 minus 1 is 0, and we can't divide by 0. That's undefined. If you know the interval notation, you could say it's from -infinity to 1, not including 1, union from 1 to positive infinity. As far as the range goes, it's, again, all real numbers, but the y value can't be 2. See how it's getting closer to 2, so y cannot be 2. If you know the interval notation, it would be -infinity to 2, and then from 2 to positive infinity. Again, not including 2. Not including infinity, you can't reach infinity. So for number 4 now, how would we graph this one? Let's do the same technique. Let's look at the asymptote. So the plus 3 is actually going to shift the graph left 3. See, it has the opposite effect. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to have a vertical asymptote right here. That's the line x equals -3. Remember, x equals lines are vertical lines. Then -1 is going to shift everything down 1. So that's going to give us a horizontal asymptote right here at y equals -1. Remember, y equals our horizontal lines. Again, x can't be -3 because you'd be dividing by 0. That's undefined. Let's focus in on the parent function, which is just y equals -10 over x. Let's make a table on that. That's a little bit easier. Now, again, every teacher is a little bit different. Your teacher might just say, and this is how sometimes I explain it, is just pick some points on either side of the vertical asymptote. So since the vertical asymptote is at -3, I might pick -4, -5, -6, -2, -1, 0, just a few on either side. But this method, when it's in this form, okay, is a good method. You just say to yourself, okay, parent function, maybe I'm going to pick -5, -2, -1, 1, 2, and 5. That would give us 2, 5, and 10. And this would give us -10, -5, and -2. Okay, I'm graphing from this point here, the shifted origin. I could plot these points, left 5, up 2. Or I could say, well, let me do the transformations. The plus 3 shifts everything left 3. So let me subtract 3 from all my x coordinates. Okay, that would be -1 and 2. And then the -1 shifts everything down 1. So let me subtract 1 from all my y values. Cross out the old ones. Okay, now we can plot our points, but now we're going to plot from the original origin. Okay, so this is going to be negative 8, 1. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, which is going to be right about here. Negative 5, 4, that's 4, 5, let's see, 4 will be right about here. And let's see, negative 4, 9, let's see, negative 4, 9 is way up here. Okay, so the graph's basically going like that, getting closer to both of the asymptotes. Here, negative 2, let's see, negative 2, negative 11 is like way down here somewhere, okay? Negative 1, negative 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 is at negative 3, so 1, 2, negative 3. If you want to find the y-intercept, you could put 0 in for x. That would be negative 4 and 1/3. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, right about here. Okay, so you can see that the graph looks something like this, getting closer and closer to the asymptotes. Domain is all real numbers, except for the vertical asymptote here. So it'd be all reals, x cannot be negative 3, because we can't divide by 0. And then the range, the y values would be all reals, but can't be negative 1. And then again, you can do the interval notation. Domain would be all real numbers, or you could say negative infinity to negative 3, not including negative 3, and then from negative 3 to positive infinity. The range would be from negative infinity to negative 1, not including negative 1, and then from negative 1 to positive infinity. So great job if you're able to follow this video. If you want more practice working in a more general sense, graphing all different types of rational functions, not just the ones that are in this form, I talk about that in that video right there. So follow me over there. I'll show you in a more general way how to graph all different types of rational functions. I'll see you there.